Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house, and we're gonna have a good time today. We're going to talk about Railgun coming to PulseChain. It could be quite a cool thing to see. May cause a few waves and be very useful on chain. I think it's going to be extremely useful. Adoption could be pretty crazily good. So let's talk about that today. It's going to be pretty awesome. That's coming from a Liberty swap. I know that also the PDI community is pretty excited about that also. So yeah, it's we're going to get into all that too. We're going to check out the markets with PulseChain and also some of the news around crypto, Bitcoin, and some of the movements at the moment. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And also ProveX, day 7 for the sacrifice, ticking along for 21 days. It's going to be a long ride, isn't it? It's going to be a bit of a saga going through another one of these sacrifice processes, but it is what it is. And don't forget to share the show on X. So let me type that down now. Share show on X. And take a moment to do that. Bam. All right. We've got FN based in the house there. Hey, good to see FN. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And yeah, there's the link to share the show around. Take a moment to hit the repost button. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. If you're on X, don't forget to hit the follow button at the top. Helps a lot there as well. All right. So without further ado, let's get into the show. Let's start off with the stock market. Kick off there, and away we go. All right, so we've got the S&P 500 drops on tech again. So obviously another down day because we're waiting for NVIDIA. I said we were waiting for NVIDIA some weeks ago, and here we are. So NVIDIA is going to be the key event, and there we go. We've got Dow Jones at the moment down 1%, 500 points to 46,100. S&P 500 down 0.8%, 55 points to 6,617. NASDAQ down 1.2%, 275 points to 22,432. So, you know, people want to see the NASDAQ results. They want to see how real the AI investment and revolution is at this stage of the process or cycle. And yeah, that's kind of where we are. So it's pulling back. The video is going to be fundamental, and of course that comes in after the Wednesday's close, right? So this is Tuesday's results. So that's something we're going to be looking for. MGU in the house there. What's up? Hey, good to see MGU. Big shout out there. All right, so US dollar at the moment, 99.46, just down very slightly. Commodities, West Texas there at $60.61, up $1, up 1.25%. Brent oil there is down just slightly, $64.74. Gold at the moment, $44,067. That is down just slightly as well. And silver there is at $50.54, down slightly also. So there we go, gold and silver. So yeah, NVIDIA continues to slide ahead of earnings. So I think they're looking at around $50 billion is what they want to see with the revenue for the quarter. And so yeah, everyone's waiting for that. Investors continue to dump large technology shares in caution ahead of Wednesday's quarterly earnings. The company is at the heart of the massive AI-fueled valuation surge over the past 3 years. Questions over this ascent have emerged in recent months. Broader tech shares also fell amid growing doubts over the long-term prospects of AI and the potential returns from the hundreds of billions of dollars being invested. Now, it kind of feels nonsensical because AI is going to actually impact virtually, the vast majority of businesses in the world to some extent or another. There's also the other side of it is that, and this is going to take time. It's going to take time for sure. But that's why there's so much investments going in, is that it's going to be integrated into so much of society, into fixed structures, mobile structures, you name it. It's going to be a pretty big deal, the AI. It's going to be also terrifying and also awesome at the same time. So yeah, and then of course we get robots as well, all that stuff. We've got a convergence between technologies in addition to AI. So obviously robotics, batteries, software, etc., chips, all the stuff coming together So yeah, it's going to be pretty crazy time in the future. Pretty crazy time. So that is pretty much where we are right now. Waiting for that on the 19th. So that's the big day. Remember, I said there were 4 key things that I could see that were going to be significant. One was the government shutdown that has been solved, and that's turned out to be quite good. And then number 2, good for the White House. That is. And number 2 is the emergency tariffs under the Supreme Court, which I believe is still ongoing. And then, of course, number 3 was NVIDIA, and that's coming up tomorrow, essentially after close. And then we've got the interest rate cuts for the 10th of December. Those are kind of the big 4 at the moment. All right, we got Crypto Dan in the house. Good to see you, Crypto Dan. Welcome. So yeah, we've got the Fed rate monitor at the moment, 3 weeks to go, 20 hours, 10th of December. This is the number 4 of our list, right? And we've got the majority of the market, 57% expecting a no change in interest rates. So after the government shutdown, of course, we were waiting for more data to come out around inflation, employment, etc. So we'll see what we end up with over the next 3 weeks and if this changes or not. Currently at 42% expected 25 basis point cut. So we'll see if that gets flipped at all coming up. And in January, we're definitely, at the moment, we've got half of the market expecting a 25 basis point cut in January. All right, so that's pretty much it on our stock market update. And a big welcome to everybody in the chat there. Already got a few people, FN, MGU, and Crypto Dan in the house. But let's jump over to the crypto market and see how that's going. Obviously, that's been pulling back too. And I've been getting lots of direct DMs about it. We got market cap at the moment, three and a quarter trillion, up 1.6%. So we've got a green day at least on the total market cap. Bitcoin right now is sitting at $93,000, up 1.2%. We got Ethereum there at 3,100, up 3.3%. And what a steal right now! That price for Ethereum, what a steal for pickup. That is crazily good. XRP there up 3.1%, $2.22. We got BNB at number 5, up 3.2% at $193. We got Solana at number 6, up 7.5%, so nice little jump there to $140. We got Tron at number 8, is down 0.1%, 29 cents. And then number 10 is Doge, up 6.6%, 16 cents here. So, the best performer today is the Solana, up 7.5%. Best performer over the last week, well, it's probably Tron. Tron is only down 2.6% for the week. So we haven't had a week reversal yet, but we'll keep a lookout. Best performer over the last week for the top 100, we got Zcash up 30%, Astra up to 24%, White Bitcoin up 13%. We've got Monero up 10%, and Bitcoin Cash, the internet money, there is up 3%. There at number 5. Top 1,000 gainers, the official G67 coin, up 110% there. George Plays Clash Royale, is it? It's up 62%. And Anoma there, up 62%. Those are the top trending in top 1,000. Trending overall is Afero, Caldera, and Asta. Those are trending overall. So that's our market update at the moment. We've got a couple of videos, though. So we're going to play those. So let's do that. First one is Tom Lee. Explains why the real reason why Bitcoin price isn't moving much at the moment. So let's talk about that.
We know Bitcoin ETFs are the most successful product launch in history. And then someone says, well, if you're going to collect that much money, Bitcoin goes to the moon. But it turns out Bitcoin's risen, but it's kind of churned. I think what happened is a couple things. One is a lot of these ETFs may have been receiving in-kind exchange. So people have their crypto keys, give it to the ETF provider, and then they just stepped up their basis. So that's not going to push up the price of Bitcoin. It adds to their AUM.
It's a wash.
Yes, it's a wash. And the second is that the ones who aren't involved in ETFs, but maybe they have $10 Bitcoin. We have clients that have bought Bitcoin at $100, and now it's 100,000. They're not looking to, they don't care if Bitcoin goes to a million. They are probably sellers at around 100,000. So we're churning the base now because 95% of the institutional world doesn't own Bitcoin, but a very significant portion of Bitcoin holders are sitting on huge gains. So I think this is the churn that's happening in Bitcoin now.
All right, so that was a little insight there from Tom Lee. We've got another little clip here from Bitwise, so we're going to hear about that, about the way forward, where we're going from here.
do exactly agree with Tom. I think we're nearing a bottom. I look at this as a great buying opportunity for long-term investors. You know, Bitcoin was the first thing to turn over before this broader market pullback. It was sort of the canary in the coal mine, signaling that there was some risk in all sorts of risk on assets. I think it'll be the first thing to bottom, and I agree with Tom. We're getting very close to that point. So I think it's an exciting opportunity, again, for people who are looking out a year or more into the future.
All right, so there we go. There's a bit more optimism, both of them on the bullish side of where we are going to be for Bitcoin and Ethereum. And of course, we've got the bottoming expecting this week from Tom Lee. And obviously, the NVIDIA is going to be a very key part of that, just with the whole sentiment with the AI story. Obviously, stock market does well. There's a lot of money around. Crypto does well too. So it's kind of where we're heading at the moment. We've got Heartwood Dog in the house there. Good morning, fam. Good to see you, Heartwood Dog. We shut up. And of course, episode 4, I believe, is coming from the Chronicles anime. It's coming out within the next 24 hours, I believe. So big shout out for that. Looking forward to that one. All right. So that is pretty much where we are with the crypto overall, and some of the more bullish commentators around that. And of course, Tom Lee, typically pretty good at predicting stuff. That's going to get us into PulseChain, and we're going to talk about Railgun today. Railgun privacy system is coming to PulseChain, so it's going to be super exciting, and might surprise people to the upside, is my guess. It's going to be heavily used. I know a lot of people that will want to use it, so that's pretty exciting, and it's a long time coming. Waiting for that. You never know. Maybe a guy called Mr. Hart will use it as well. Maybe a guy called Mr. Hart will use it. We'll see. But it's coming. It's coming. Let's get into day 920. What's that? We got Heartwood Dog says, yes, sir. Dropping in about 12 hours time, episode 4. Yeah, the Chronicles of Hog, Somi, and Andrew Tate. Episode number 4 is coming, guys. So keep a lookout for that. Heartwood Dog on X. Check it out. And then also you can see episodes 1 to 3 in the Monster thread at the moment. Monster thread number 28. And check it out. It's really amazing. What else there? We got Wal Pasang in the house there. Oh boys, that was a wild few days. Interesting opportunities. How many Peacock for our retirement? That's from Wally Pasang. So a big Peacock fan there. Of course, Liberty Swap is it's kind of become the token of Liberty Swap with the support of Liberty Swap. So we're going to check that out later on. But let's get into the markets for PulseChain and see what has happened there. So obviously we had stock market is up a little bit. Crypto is recovering a little bit, and let's see how PulseChain is doing, because PulseChain's got a double issue, right? It's got the market pulling down, and it's also got the PRUVEX sacrifice on at the same time. So as Richard Hart might say, the band-aid has been pulled off, or something like that. There we go. Let's get into it. All right, so we've got day 921 since PulseChain launched, 921. And we've got Pulse at the moment at quadruple 021, up 3.5%. So we're not really at that next support level. It's 2200. So we're just below that right now. So let's see if we can inch that out today. That'd be quite nice. And then PulseX at the moment, quadruple 0135 is up 3%. And we've got the buy and burn at 8.13% based on GoPulse numbers. Ink token is at 89 cents, almost 90 cents, up 3.6%. And we've got P-Hex or Hex on PulseChain at 4500th of a penny, up 6.33%. So that's the best performer today. E-Hex, however, doesn't seem to have recovered from what I can tell. It's down at 1200th of a penny. I think that might be even slightly lower than yesterday, is it? So anyway, we got E-Hex and P-Hex combined price is at 5700th of a penny. So super cheap opportunities right now on our PulseChain. And probably going to stay that way all the way through to the 2nd of December. With the base rate on the PRUVEX sacrifice being $1 for 10,000 points, and people competing for the volume multiplier, right, up to 3x. And we already see a couple of leaderboards there. We're going to check that out later on. So stay tuned for the PRUVEX update. That's our last topic. Check on that. And we're on day 7, of course. So let's go to the bridge. Shall we go to the bridge? Go Validus. Then we'll go to gas prices first. 321,000 beats, 2/10 of a penny. So it's pretty cheap on PulseChain today. In fact, it's kind of on the lowest end with the price of Pulse down. That's also made it 2/10 of a penny. Below 52,000 validators. So we've seen a little bit of a exiting of some validators. We're up at pretty much around 52, 250 around there, and so we're down down over the last 2 days with the validators. Check out David Fetter. He's got all the hardware that you can buy, and of course he's got over 67% apparently of validators have come from his validatorstore.com. If you want to do solo validating, picking up 32 million pulse right now, super cheap. So do it while you can. And a nice little passive income there, waiting for PulseChain to do the magic. All right, we got the bridge at the moment. It's 84.6 million. I won't go through all the breakdown of this like we did yesterday, but that's where we are right now. 84.6. In fact, I'll just do a quick snapshot of the whole lot. So we're at 85.9. So we're down about 1.3 million, and that was over the last 3 days. So down about to 1.3. So it looks like it's edged off a little bit. All right, so let's quickly pull up PulseChain stats, and so let's have a look at the bridge PulseChain stats and have a look at the bridge values. Wait for it to render properly. I don't know if it's got any issues there, but let's go to the bridge stats, and we're going to go daily inflows, see how we landed. Oh, we're up slightly, guys. 7,000, 8,000 bucks. We'll take that, eh? We'll take that. $8,000 in the money there on the old bridge. There we go. All right, so that is pretty much it on that. Now, we did have some interesting actions here on Pulse Alerts, and the first one that we had was Pulse Alerts had 114,000 EUSD came over the bridge 2 hours ago, so that's pretty cool. We also had 3 hours ago, we had 30 million Hex was bought for 147,000 for 7 billion Pulse, so that was kind of cool. So we had some, a little bit of good news there. And we also had, based on Pulse Alerts numbers 11 hours ago, their snapshot was $58,000 US positive. So that's all good. So, a bit of positive news today, lifting the old PulseChain a little bit there. Lifting the old PulseChain a little bit. Now, we are expecting volatility and tendency to the downside there, obviously, naturally, with the PROVEX sacrifice on, particularly on the 2nd of December, that last day. That's in about 2 weeks' time. So, we'll see where the market goes. That's all I can say. See where the market goes. I have seen a little bit of sentiment there. It's talking about, I wasn't going to sacrifice a PROVEX, and maybe I might do it. You got the other people talking, of course, don't sell at a loss, therefore hold on to your bags. Then you've got some pools, or the Buckamentals pools leading the board there on PROVEX. So we'll talk about that later on too. Trying to get the top multiplier. We've got Rack and Rochelle out there talking about, hey, maybe I should, maybe I'll take that out. Who knows? We also got silently out there somewhere, probably is the Hex Gold Whale. Don't know whether they're going to suddenly wake up and go in. We'll see. So there's all sorts of things happening in that space. And you just never know what Mr. Richie Rich and the OAs will do with not only with PROVEX, but with PulseChain. Now, we're expecting PROVEX, of course, to take the majority of the supply. But you never know what could happen on PulseChain as well. It's always possible. And maybe Railgun will play a role in that coming up on the 30th of November. So there's lots of things to think about there. All right, let's jump over to PulseChain market results, and we're at 12.7 million. So pretty low volumes, right? We've got weekend volumes during the week, and that's kind of been the case the last couple of days. So we're at 12.7 million. We've got 353,000 transactions. It's kind of pretty low as well compared to, we had a couple of weeks ago, we were breaking some records, up over 600,000 transactions. So that's, a bit down from there. Our top mover today, though, Proteus there. So that is, I think they had some issues around, I can't remember the Cloudflare fling was overnight. Cloudflare was down. It affected quite a few different protocols out there. But Proteus is up and running, up 27%. So nice little pump there. Not sure if they've got any particular news that's pumping that, but the volumes does come in. Look at that. This is the hourly chart, and so you can see 4 hours of volume coming in there. We're going to go check their X account and see whether they've got something that I'm not aware of, because I haven't checked it. So we'll go have a look, see if we've got anything about that. Oh, there we go. 3 hours ago, that would explain it. PTS is officially fully deflationary now. No magic tricks, no Ponzi-nomics. No magic trick, no Ponzi-nomics. We got to do that, don't we? We have to do the magical twinkle for that. Real protocol revenue to buy PTS and then burn it and repeats forever. So there we go. That is pretty powerful. Now, I do believe that PTS, I don't know whether it's still the case, but I thought they were doing something around about 2/3 of the volume on PulseX, or at least somewhere in that ballpark. I have to double check, but it was a pretty high volume that they're doing, routing through. They're also embedded with a lot of protocols out there too, right, supporting them, getting a lot of volumes here. So anyway, real protocol revenue, so that's huge. It's a big deal. It's a big deal for the old PTS. Already 5 million burned, 5% of the supply, and another. I don't know what rate that is at, or whether they just had a bit chunk of money at the beginning to do that, and another 9.1 million stacked for burn with the pile still growing, still keeps shrinking that supply. And there, well, the turnover so much, they must get decent fees, and they have optimized fees, right? So they have different routes, and that optimizes the fee route there as well. User interface has been upgraded to version 2.1.4. You don't see a new version there, so that's very, very cool. So I guess I'll have to repost that. That's worth reposting, isn't it? We're keeping the first snapshot here for the memories. Check it out. So that's a snapshot there. Let's have a look at that. So we've got treasury holdings, 9. What was that? I guess it's supposed to be 9 million, is it? 9 million. PTS burn 5 million, and total deflation there 14 million at the moment. So there we go. Max supply is 100 million. So ticking away there. Supply currently 95 million. So I don't know if they had a big burn party at the beginning there, but that's kind of cool. I don't know whether that's based on all accumulated fees or however they're running their business, but pretty cool. We got Liberty Swap on, making a comment about it. Yay, PTS buy orders through Liberty Swap are 0 fee and full gas sponsored on every side, onwards and upwards. So some nice comments there. Yeah, they're supposed to have a second project, as Alex talking about here, with AI, right? That big AI trading platform, and I guess they're still working on that. So that is pretty cool for Proteus. What else? Anything else out there? They had an issue with Cloudflare, but it looks like that's all back. So that's pretty much it for Proteus. And the market's liking that. The market cap 2.3 million right now. Let's have a quick look on the weekly, shall we? They've been around for a long time, so let's have a look at the weekly there. So they're coming off the bottom of that. So yeah, they were down at 2.5 cents, now 3.3 cents. So we'll keep watching this one, see how much fighting power that will push the price up or not. So there we go. Awesome news there from TS. One of our blue chips, right? Arguably, and you hear me talking about blue chips all the time. We need a good group of blue chips on PulseChain, right? We need a good group of those, and it's harder than done, right? Because it's all a lot. We don't really, there's not a lot of real DeFi, right? Like PulseChain's close to the DeFi. It is the DeFi chain, and we've still got a lot of projects still. You're relying on people's ethics and all that sort of stuff. So you're still relying on all that for a lot of things. But if we can get a good half a dozen, blue chip projects that have a lot of potential upside. There are blue chips that on PulseChain that don't have a lot of potential upside, or at least maybe will be delayed in the future. But something that has some real promise. So Patea's definitely in that camp there. World PDI greatest printer, $1.90. That's up at almost 10%. We've got time dividend, another blue chip. So we've got a few of the blue chips on the move today. This is what I like to see, guys. This is actually what I like to see. We've got plenty of DGNs and memes and everything else like that. Everyone can go and spec on those. But actually, time dividend there at 0.2 of a penny. Looks like is the bottom in for it? Question mark. We've got the RSI down there at 40 on the weekly. I don't know what the daily is right now, but that could be getting ready to rock and roll. Almost 100,000 downloads, remember? So they're really on the move there. They had Matt Wallace with 2.3 million followers, becoming a kind of a quasi ambassador for it. And we'll keep a lookout for that. RSI currently at 44, so doing pretty well. If you hold time token in the Intimate Money wallet, you get a share of the revenue, which I can't remember what the APR is on at the moment, but maybe 7% or something like that. Can't remember, but you go check it. But that is awesome from KG. So well done there. And funny, we've got the blue chips leading the way. I mean, world's greatest PDI is not a blue chip, but it's doing pretty well. Time dividend there, and look, up and coming Peacock there on the back of Liberty Swap could be the next big blue chip, right? So it's getting there. It's on the way. And it already relies just on strong leadership, and that's very important. You've got to have strong leadership there, and if we can get teams that got strong leadership, then I think we can get some really established blue chips, and people can keep pumping those out in the market. Say, hey, look, these are really good investable projects on PulseChain, and before you know it, they're also self-fulfilling, right? You just attract more people and more money, and this all sort of works the right direction. So we are going to be talking about Liberty Swap because we're going to talk about Railgun. But we'll look Peacock here right now, just below 1 cent right now. So we'll have a quick look at this one. The liquidity's been really fattened up too. Nice to see that. 418K right now, so really nice work there. The team was swaying around about the ProvX sacrifice. I definitely thought a balanced approach would be okay. And one that the community voted for was 15 days of fees going to that. Don't know if they've gone ahead with that from the looks of it. But because they would have started that today, I guess, or yesterday, these days. We'll go check that, but I don't think so. But we're 1 cent, and they ended up fattening up liquidity and buying some Pulse at the cheap price. So we'll see how that goes. Presumably, they can keep doing that all the way for the next 2 weeks, which is the most vulnerable time for PulseChain with the ProvX sacrifice, particularly the 2nd of December. And so we'll see what happens there. All right, so Peacock on the move, but 8%, looking pretty good. So I'm really liking the lineup here today. It's looking much better. Now, obviously, with a lot of the Peacock for those who are not familiar is Liberty Swap. So they're doing bridging and swapping and building out a whole ecosystem, and they're bringing the Railgun that we're going to talk about as well. So kind of cool. We've got Zero Trust. They're making a movie, aren't they? Making a movie and doing lots of other stuff. So they're up 8% today. What else? They're also on the back of Peacock. So a lot of the ones that are paired with Peacock are on the rise as well. Zendog paired with Peacock on the rise. SCADA there. I think SCADA has some pairing to Peacock. I think so. But anyway, SCADA there from Nuke the Supply is up 7%. And then we get into Top Hat from Crypto Coffee, one of the biggest influencers, if not the biggest. Arguably could be the biggest, right? And if you depending on which dimensions or which attributes you take into account, it could be overall Top Hat. Yeah, I would argue that. I would argue for that. But hey, look, it is it's paired to Peacock, so it's on the move. We've got X Game is on the comeback here. We've got X Game up 6%, so it's sitting at 1800 to a penny. We're gonna keeping a lookout for Firewell's next move. So we'll keep a lookout for that. But X Game is still out there. And we're waiting for a second game under that brand, so we'll keep tabs on that. Haven't heard much news since we did our last update on Firewell. Pump Transit months is up 6%, and that is really underpriced, isn't it? But I think that's possibly going to get lifted by Liberty Swap as well, because they've got a whole program around pump tires and the staking that's coming up for December. So December's roadmap, I believe. So keep a lookout for pump tires. Could be a nice little entry. Let's have a quick look at where that is right now. It's right off the bottom, so like I say, it might be Liberty Swap might pull up a lot of ships out from the bottom of the ocean, perhaps. But that's where it is at right now, 3,600 to a penny. The old pump tires, and apparently, Liberty Swap said they're going to do a new front end as well. Who else was doing a new front end? I think PulseChain was doing something around pump tires front end as well. So that could be interesting. Then of course we've got Hex in the mix. We talked about all those. Going all the way up to number 25, and then we've got number 24 as UFO with PDC the Greys at up 5%. And I think this is coming off the bottom as well. Well, there's the Hex pair. Yeah, it's coming off the bottom too. We've got lots of charts looking like that, don't we, at the moment? Moving into Hex, we've got ALGO, a Hex derivative, Teddy Bear. Well, obviously, I think we had, we've got Teddy Bear down here, so James Maria as well. Now, there's lots of speculations I've heard around Liberty Swap, who that is, whether it's James Maria, whether it's Go Pulse, all sorts of things like that. I'm pretty sure they're in denial of any of that. But interesting theories going out there. So that brings us into the play there. So, yeah, I mean, beyond that, beyond the number 40, we've got things only up 2-3%. But, things are slightly rising there. It looks like we've settled down a little bit there. So it looks like coming up, we've got 72 out of the top 100 trending coins, or trending pairs, I should say. And that's cut off at Vouch. Vouch is a blue chip too, right? That is number one valid on PulseChain. So number one there. And that is, heading up there. So, 72 projects or pairs currently in the green. Everything else is down out of the money right now. So Sparta with the Hex treasury there. Invested the parent of the OG web shares are down slightly, just really slightly. SolidX at the moment sitting at 78 cents. And liquidity's been right filmed out there. So like I said, we'll keep a tab on where Firewell is going with all that. Source on Minimil is down 6% as well. So this is intentional, right? This is intentional. So the reason why is because they have a massive buy and burn, probably well in excess of $10 million Could be $15 million by now. I don't know, but it's certainly large. And but we know they're moving to Solana, so they're biding their Solana, actually Solana. So they're biding their time there with the bold buy and burn, just not activating it, right? Waiting for Floyn listing as well in the Europe. So yeah, it's a shame they're leaving. It would have been great to have them here. Obviously huge, actually massive to have them here. But I think it was the Floyn. Probably talked to Floyn and said, "Let's go Solana. Let's go Solana." Like idiots. All right, so what else we got? Unity down here. Unity at the moment down 30%, and that's not surprising, right? Unity, we're expecting that to readjust in price, and okay, this probably is close to where the price will be actually, 3 cents. So it'll be a bit lower than what we see on Taurus, in my view. But we did have an update there from Cryptographics. We'll go have a quick look at that. So this is the biggest one that's down today. I don't know if this is going to be on his watch here, but Taurus there, we had a update here. Yeah, that was the 15th. Happy Unity, day 89. But we're past day 89 now, and we've got all the volume coming out, right? So all these big candles coming out, and therefore, you've got an adjustment to the supply. So that is where that is. But I did think we had something from the team there about the burn. So we have a look at it. Let's go have a look at it. Let's have a little look. This will be our last little check on the trending top 100. This is the one that's down the most, but we were expecting it to be down. It's day 93, so we're now 4 days past day 80, day 88, I guess. And let's see where the stats are quickly. What have we got? Liquid supply is 2.3 million. So yeah, a lot of supply. It needs to, the idea is that's go to stake, but it's not staking. We saw that on Taurus. We'll see how that goes over the next few days. What have we got with the buy and burn? Because I think there was some changes to that. Okay, so buy and burn's at 1%, so not surprising. So the liquidity is at 10%. So there's maximum liquidity for the Pulse that's going to be used up. So at 10%, there's still $19,000 left. And that was activated, I think, on day 89 when all the supply came out. And then the PulseX is sitting at 5%, so it's only half of the maximum. But they were both probably at 1%, I think, before. And so now we've got 63K left. So the buy and build is going to be used pretty quickly. And then the buy and burn still just tapering away. They're at 1%. And then the fractal coming up on day 110, this will top that all up, right? So there's another $120 so $25,000 there to go into the buy and burn over here, top that up. But that's still 17 days away. So that will take us into phase 4. We're currently in phase 3 by my count. So there we go. There's some of the cool stuff there happening with the old Unity, and the price is adjusted accordingly. The other thing that we're waiting to see is also the next big project that's coming from Cryptographics that's probably going to be on the roadmap for those. So we'll keep a lookout for that. Right. So that is pretty much our coverage on there. But we're going to go to... don't forget, if you guys haven't subscribed on YouTube, don't forget to smash the subscribe button. We're streaming on Crypto Night Show, Superman Crypto, and PulseChain X. If you're on X right now, don't forget to hit the follow button. Just go up to the top and smash the follow button there for daily PulseChain coverage. As you guys know, the Crypto Night Show is really the only large PulseChain influencer channel to cover PulseChain on a daily basis. And we only ever take a very few days off over the last 6 years. So if you love PulseChain content, then it's the place to be. All right, and we're the only one also that does a full market wrap up of PulseChain as well. So there we go. It is what it is, as we say. It is what it is. It's a claim to glory there. Claim to glory. All right, let's jump away to Liberty Swap. Railgun's coming, guys. Railgun is coming, and we're going to go to Dirty Crypto. He's an ex-influencer, a fairly large, consistent one on PulseChain, and he's a PDI leader as well, one might argue, along with Decentralized Me, Somi, of course, and a few other big players in the mix. He's got here PulseChain Liberty Swap is scheduled to enable Railgun on November the 30th, bringing true privacy to our network for the first time, as it's a fundamental right. Do you love that fundamental right? I don't know. Rights only rights if you have to enforce them with strength and power. I think so. Or rights? Are there some rights that are just innate, some form? So anyway, that's some good discussion for another day. We got separately, someone in the community built an advanced monitoring and analyst site for Railgun and tornado flows, so trying to keep an eye on them. It has no connection to LibertySwap. They can track on-chain movements all day long, but they still can't see identities because ZK or ZK sync there hides it, who is who. And of course, got a little summary there of what Railgun is. Railgun is a privacy system built directly on-chain that uses what they call zero-knowledge cryptography to enable private use of smart contracts and DeFi, all without leaving the security of the user's preferred chain. The Railgun code has no owner. Interactions on your chain of choice are made private. It's speculated, and this is a key word there, speculated, that Railgun could play a key role in PDI liquidity management. And of course, people are talking about also layer 0 coming or something like that. If the PDI prophecy comes to fruition and you end up with a decentralized ping pong stable backed by decentralized assets, users and apps may prefer routing routine payments through Railgun to ensure private, censorship-resistant, everyday transactions. So that was the excitement there. And I think there's a little picture of Railgun scanners on the look there. So there are scanner status, Railgun live. What do we got here? LibertySwap there, Railgun, PulseChain bridge goes live for privacy-enabled transfers. That's from the LibertySwap there. So that's coming up in there. So nice little post there from Dirty Crypto and Little Precise. So Dick says here, privacy should equal untraceable. And Dirty Crypto here is posting the LibertySwap comment. New tracking sites are popping up from the community, and it's exciting to watch. Someone out there is cooking in sync with our moves. It looks like the Railgun liquidity vault will soon flow through the entire PulseChain X network. So that would be fantastic. And I think it's going to get a lot of use, right? I think there'll be key players using it, but I think actually a lot of people have been asking for that. A lot of people ask me, how do you do something private there? I want to move from here to there and all. Well, it looks like you're going to have a system-wide Railgun to do it. So very, very cool. And I think we already have a ZK Zinc platform, but this is going to be pretty huge. All right, so that is pretty exciting. Now, a few little features here. This is from railgun.org. They have a few little things here. So it's got shielding and shield any PRC20. Well, in the case of PulseChain, it would be PRC20 or NFT. So NFT would be a PRC 721 or 11, maybe possibly even a 404s, which is kind of like a PRC20 NFT hybrid, into any OZK address. I'm not sure whether they'll be using the same 0ZK address, private address there. Unshield these tokens back to any public address. So there we go. So we've got private addresses there, and I guess it's the key trick. Enjoy complete anonymity whilst your funds are in the 0ZK address. Woo! So we're going to have shielding and unshielding tokens. Send any PRC20 or NFT to any other OZK address without revealing token type, amount, sender, and recipient. Private sends are valid blockchain transactions that transfer full ownership to the 0ZK address. Private swaps and DeFi swaps a token. Swap any token, I should say, privately using the OX API. Use tokens from your 0ZK balance out into DeFi to earn yield, lend, borrow, and much more. Well, that would be pretty interesting. That'd be another, DeFi, secret DeFi, something like that. We've got experienced, powerful Railgun privacy on Ethereum, BSC, Polygon, and Arbitrum. Obviously, it's coming to PulseChain. Send privacy. Now, it'll be interesting whether how many chains that the Railgun service is going to provide. That'd be interesting with LibertySwap. Send private transactions wherever you are in the world and whatever hardware you're on, whether it's web, iOS, or Android. So it's kind of cool. So that's some of the private interactions. Railgun is the only uncompromising on-chain privacy solution with unparalleled encryption, security, and just as much DeFi functionality as any other wallet there. Well, I probably needed a drink. A whiskey on the rocks with the shaken, not stirred. We got integrations and compliance there. We've got a wallet SDK. We got Railgun Connects. We got audible features and private proofs of innocence. There's a couple of things there. We've got obviously use cases there. Alpha detection. Keep your alpha close to your chest and trade freely, and knowledge that you won't lose your hard-fought informational advantages. Pay your employees privately through crypto without leaking salary data. That's kind of cool, isn't it? You might see a lot of that. So it's going to, unleash a lot of cool activities. Activities some people wouldn't otherwise do, right? Because that's all private, so they're happy to do all that sort of stuff, right? Anonymized analytics, reduced tracking and labeling on analytics services, it's got Ethereum here, but Ethereum Etherscan, but it would be like PulseChain browsers and stuff. Block explorers, data compliance, help your business maintain compliance with data protection and privacy laws. So there we go. That's a couple of applications there on there. So not bad. So there's a little bit of highlights here. With the old Liberty Swap. Now, that's kind of cool. Let's quickly jump over to, I don't know if Decentralized Me might have had a comment on this too, actually. Let's actually go back and we'll have a look and see what we've got. We might have a few bit more from Dirty Crypto. No, let's go to Decentralized Me because I think he might have said something about this, but I didn't actually pull it up. So Decentralized. Let's see if it comes up. Probably not even going to come up. Decentralized Me, is it? Something like that. I probably won't even find it yet. No, I probably got it wrong. That's what happened when I cleared up the whole thing. Anyway, so let's go to Liberty Swap then. Let's go to Liberty Swap. Liberty Swap and have a look at that. Let's see if that comes up. All right, Liberty Swap. So that is the big news there around the old Liberty Swap and Railgun coming. So that's going to be pretty huge, right? Pretty huge. Now let's just go through a few more other things that are coming up. I just thought there was a comment about Decentralized Me, but that's coming up on the 30th. I think that'll be a pretty big deal, and I think there'll be a lot more people use it than you might expect to have their privacy, right? Which I think is pretty cool. Now we're going to kick it off from here 16 hours ago before we get into Prevex updates, and we had Liberty Swap here. 4 billion pulse bought back and poured straight into the Peacock LP. Forget the bears, forget the sack pool leaderboard. So it looks like they may have decided to, even though they had a vote on it, which I thought that was the right outcome, having a balanced thing for 15 days of fees and entering with that one. You could also enter into the pools, the top pools if you want to get the top sack rate. Feed the Peacock and stand on the values, and I love that. That's what I talk about leadership, right? That is leadership right there. So I like that. If you lose that, you lose the reason you showed up in the first place. This is Liberty Coin. So awesome stuff. Really, really, really happy about that. Now we switch from LP mode to buyback mode, taking Peacock straight from the market. Good luck trying to catch the dips and the market is giving you. So awesome stuff happening there. Now the other thing before that actually was this one here. Peacock has the strongest LP against Pulse, stronger than most and Pump. And of course you can see the LP even bigger than both of those two. Remember, most was dominating for a long time. But Peacock has the ability with the expanding revenue business to completely replace that. So most says Liberty is interested in a Vault. Yeah, well, that would make a lot of sense. Vault will be able to accept multiple collaterals. So Liberty having Peacock in there would be a great idea. Yeah. And of course, Railgun will essentially affect everything in some way or another on PulseChain, either directly or indirectly. And I know a lot of people that will be using it for sure. The other big thing here was Peacock is a community coin. Buy it, hold it, do not drop it, because I'm happily scooping up every single Peacock that slips out of your weak hands. So I like that sort of talk. This is sort of leadership I like. I like that. That's very cool. Around 220 projects have bonded the Peacock. LP to market cap sits at 10%, which is really good. So that is really good, impressive and beautiful. This is a solid foundation for pump tires to take the main stage in the bull market ahead if it comes. Now, I thought it was pretty funny if it comes. It's the first. Normally, these guys are always talking pretty bullish, and then they put that lid on, which I thought was funny. But and we got 227 peers, and some of the other chains, not just PulseChain, right? So it's kind of cool over Ethereum and BNB, I think it is. So it's kind of cool. There was a Cloudflare issues we talked about. It is so great to see Peacock leading the PulseChain market forward with strength and momentum. Now, the thing I was going to say about that is that that Liberty Swap is what was I going to say about that? Liberty Swap there is that they're going to be doing something around pump tires, right? A new pump front end or something. We talked about that earlier. And so I believe that possibly is in the December roadmap when they do Peacock staking, I believe is coming. And people will get meme coin airdrops, which are there because there's so many different meme peers in there, and they've been providing liquidity out of the treasury. So I understand it. Then that's probably where a lot of possible meme coins are coming. We're going to keep a lookout for that, but that could be really, really great for the roadmap in December. It could be pretty big there. And of course, adding in Vault as well. That's two really decent use cases is for the old Peacock. So it could really really start to lift the demand there quite strongly, in addition to everything else that's going on with the expanding businesses. Recently, of course, adding in PDI and wrapped ETH to Ethereum to PulseChain, and of course last week Pulse as well was added. So really expanding that, and of course the Railgun coming up earns fees, right? So that's going to be massive, potentially massive. Certainly a big, strong addition, and that's just in November, right? So pretty exciting. No matter what, we continue to believe in the vision of Richard Hart set in motion. He is the one who brought us here 3 years ago. His impact still the reason we stand here today. Pulse and Peacock remain strong, just like a commitment to serve the Pulse chain and its community, which I really like that. That is really cool. That's what makes a chain really take off, right? Is when you get project teams with good leadership, strong ethics, and strong action, right? Which is what we're seeing so far. So it's kind of cool. Now, I'm just going to scroll up here. It may take a few years for the project to take shape. We're building from the ground up, onwards and upwards there. Let me just scroll up here a little bit there. I love seeing pump tires heating up. You already know what to buy if you want outsized gains, and there's Peacock there, of course. Nice little AI animated video. It's pretty good, actually. Pretty good with the, I guess it's all their satellites or something. I don't know, all the rockets taking off. That's Elon Musk's vision for Mars, by the way. It's 1,000 ships eventually. I think they're going to go up with about 30 in the end of 2026, so they're hoping. So they have 2025, I think, somewhere like that. And they'll have only Optimus robots on. But yeah, I think you're crazy if you're human. If you're human, you're going to go there. Crazy, but makes sense. If the Optimus robots can set up a nice base camp, then yeah, sure, probably pretty good place for humans to go. Optimus 3 is coming, guys. Optimus 3. Hopefully it moves around there. Oh, nice repost there. Appreciate that. Thank you, Liberty. Yeah, so that is on the market at the moment with the old Liberty Swap. So yeah, Railgun is coming, guys. Railgun is coming. All right. Yeah, and so the vault is Vault 369. That's from Fast Abdul. So wouldn't be surprised. That would make a lot of sense having Peacock collateral in there. And multi-chain too, right? Because they're on Ethereum and BNB. So it's definitely possible for that to scale up. All right, don't forget, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to smash the follow button on X at the top. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to smash the subscribe button. We're on 3 YouTube channels. If you love daily PulseChain content, then definitely give us a follow. We've been streaming for about 6 years, virtually daily, which is pretty amazing. So, yeah, believe it. All right, so that is where we are right now. Let's jump over to the Pruvex sacrifice. But before, actually, I might bring up Bunkermentals as well while we're talking about it. So Bunkermentals. Where's the guy gone? Bunkermentals chairman. Talk about that a bit later once we talk about the sacrifice. But let's do the refresh. So we're about, by my counts, we're about 2 hours and 45 minutes away from the end of day 7, I believe. Yeah. We're on day 7 here with the little red thing. So we got the first phase, right? First phase is 21 days, ends in 2nd of December. And we've got a base rate of $1 per 10,000 points that you get. So if you sacrifice $1, you get 10,000 points. And you also compete for the multiplier depending on how many your dollars are versus everybody else's dollars. And at the moment, we're 7 days through a 21-day base rate. Then, of course, after that, we move on to from the 3rd of December all the way through to day 54. So from day 22 to day 54, we end up having a rate rise in the volume by and the base rate goes up by 6.25% every day, and that's additive, so it adds to each other. So, excuse me. So by the time we end at the end there, we're at $7.40 on the base rate. So we're $1 now, and we end up $7.40. And also the volume ranking ends on day 54. In the last 5 days, we've got a flat rate. So there's no volume bonus. So there's no up to 3x volume bonus that people are competing for. And this is the flat rate, which is $7.85 on the first day, and ends up on the last day, day 59, at $10.01. So what are we expecting to see? Well, we're expecting to see, obviously, people sacrifice during the best rate period, which is the first 21 days at $1. But to what we've typically seen with the previous sacrifices for PulseChain and PulseX is that typically the next sort of 5 to 6, 7 days, particularly the first 5 days, we do see a lot of late comers, and they decide, well, I want to get in before the rate really starts running away. So they're sacrificing here as well in those first few days. Probably what we're reasonably expecting to see. And then, of course, we get to see the OA come in as well, just try and snap up 90, probably 87 to 95% of supply, something like that. Will be reasonably expected to happen. So, expect a lot of that secret ETH potentially that's been running around through to pop up there from Richard and the OA. So there we go. So we've got some big players right now. So we've got 14 days to go, obviously, in the base period. We've got 2.177 million total at the moment, with 3 hours to go for the day. 1 hour to go based on the actual timer clock, but 2 hours 45 minutes based on when Richard posted it. That's kind of how I've been running the day. 43.54 billion points right now. There's 4,500 sacrifices. That's going up pretty nicely. And what else there? Yeah, that's kind of where we're up to. Now, I do have the old PulseChain sacrifice spreadsheets. So let me pull one of those up. Well, I'm just going to have a look at it anyway. Let me have a look. Leaderboard. Let's have a look at the leaderboard. So we did have, we had some interesting sacrifice. Obviously, we had, Racker Michelle was number one, right? He was number one with this consortium of investors. But if I look at everyone over $1, we'll just do over $1. I think I might do $1 sacrifice. Forget about the under dollar numbers. But if we did $1, then we had about 48,000 people sacrificed for the PulseChain. About 48,000 people sacrificed for PulseChain, and I think it was around 100,000 for the PulseX. But I'll pull the PulseX up as one as well. So we're not expecting anything like that, of course, for anything like the Pulse and PulseChain sacrifice for this one, the Prevex one. Now, Richard Hart also talked about doing live streams and also talked about marketing. If he's gonna do anything like that, then one would reasonably expect him to do that. With at least about 10 days to go. So we'll see whether anything comes of that. Also, he was going to take some notes around doing live stream, so we'll see if anything comes with that as well. It might, there's still plenty of time to go. For 2 weeks for the base rate, but we'll see. Now, obviously, if there's marketing out there, that will certainly lift, the existing PulseChain community. Will probably want to do more if they see marketing out there. Go, oh man, the marketing out there, better get into them myself, get in on that action. So I'm just going down to $1 here. Let me scroll back up here a little bit here. $1 there. So I said, 48,000 accounts here, around 102,400 is what I got on the spreadsheet for PulseX. So we're quite a long way from that, 4% or something of that mark. So, but we got the play in there. So let's have a look at who the big SEC leaders are. Well, we've got the top one here is the Buckamentals. They're leading. This is a pool, right? Sacrifice pool. It's got the top position. Their rate at the moment is 2.8063. That's come down a bit too. Obviously, more players in the mix, and we've got more sacrifices and stuff. We've got US dollars there, 421,000. So they're really climbing quite nicely, aren't they? They're really climbing quite nicely. They did have a pretty big X base yesterday, and they were in there. I just listened to 5-10 minutes of it. I heard them speaking about it, and so yeah, they got 11.8 billion points at the moment. So 11.8 out of 43.5. Then number 2 is I think this may be Rack and Michelle. This one here, number 2, possibly. So question mark there, but that is 64K. I think it might be. And then we got 51,000 there is number 3. And then we got the 40,000, and then we got 3 that are at 30,000, and then a couple of 20,000. So to $20,759 getting the top 10. This is pretty much the same as yesterday. But yeah, the leader there, the big sacrifice pool is going up, and this one here, right? This one here, by Chairman Buck Foot. Now, these guys, of course, early on in PulseChain, they launched the famous the PH ecosystem, as they call it, and they launched forks of Aave, forks of Balancer, forks of GMX, and a dashboard portfolio manager, right? So they had 4 protocols launched, and they've all been operating. They've been pretty fine. So we've got some street cred as the team, and they launched a PulseChain sacrifice group. Now, last time we saw people do the PulseX one was Magic Heart Ride 369. They did a sacrifice pool and they did that very well. I had to run big spreadsheets though; would have been a bit of a nightmare. But it is what it is. So they launched this the other day. Where is it here? I'm sure it's a bit down further. 16th here, maybe. Guys, is the official Twitter X for upcoming PruvX sacrifice. So got their own Telegram group, got their own website, which we go have a look at the moment, tracking the pools. So you've got the actual their pool address, which is 46DF. You can see 46DF at the top here, so that's how we know who it is. They've got all their details from the website as well. And they've got the top sacrifices here. So they've got some with $86,000, $72,000, $30,000, $20,000. So this is the sub sacrifice, right? You add up all these totals, that equals the total that's up here on this US dollar. So that's kind of where they go. So they've got a lot of participants. Look at that. There are heaps of them. 7 pages, is it? Maybe more. So doing pretty well there. I think they might clip the ticket low. I think they make a little profit off this. I'm not sure. I don't know if there's a little fee for entering this. A little management fee, maybe. Not sure. I heard them talking about some sort of fee. So that is the play there. Follow Buckamentals and BB Trippin. That's Dylan. Dylan there. Everyone, I guess most people know Dylan, and of course of Fame there. So yep. What else they got in there? That's pretty interesting. They did an X Space. I think you can go listen to that. But if you want to get in a pool, the reason why you go into pool, obviously you're risking your assets with the pool people that are managing it. These people do have the good street cred, like I said. I'm not aware of, or only got good reputation from as far as I know. So yeah, you're taking on that risk, but the upside is that you can get the big bonus, right? The big bonus up to 3x multiplier balance. That's 2.8 at the moment, but that is the play. Yeah, so this is saying 68% of the PulseChain community says they don't want to sacrifice for PruvX. The number one reason, the 3x bonus. Yeah, because the reason why is because this ends up being the market price ultimately, right? Like anything, you can sell below the market price. You're selling, below cost, but this becomes the cost price because they get the biggest multiplier, right? Just like Rack and Michelle and Hex Gold Whale, they were number 1 and 2. They ended up getting, the rate of about 4 zeros, 4,100 on the Pulse price and the PulseX price. So they ended up getting, the best price. Now, at the moment, the market's below that, right? So the market's half the price of that. So that's there are the money on that too, in US dollar terms. Yeah, that's kind of where we are. So this kind of sets the market price, not just getting to the base 10,000 points, right? That is, so everyone wants to, that's why everyone wants to go on the pool. Right, so that is from them. They think that there'll be a disadvantage compared to whales. They imagine whales sitting at 2.5 to 3x, while small sacrifices stay stuck at 1x. Yeah, so you're already on a losing streak there, and they get all the volume. They got all the volume too. On paper, it looks true, but the reality is completely different. Here's why: the number one spot on the leaderboard isn't a whale; it's a pool combining small, medium, and large contributors. Well, in this case, it is, right? In this case, it is. You don't need to be a whale to benefit. So yeah, obviously you can benefit through the multiplier there if you want to go through the group. You basically become a whale, basically, through that way. So that's one option that people have. Obviously, you have to do your own financial due diligence, all that stuff. But that is the idea there. So yeah, what else they got there? PruPool says number one leaderboard PruvX. Pretty cool to see. Yeah. Now that leads us into Rack and Michelle, right? Rack and Michelle, of course, was the dominator. They did something in excess of 80 million, maybe $100 million with other secondary accounts. Through the Pulse and PulseX sacrifices. So obviously huge players there. They went as a consortium, and pretty interesting there. So this is Rackham here 13 minutes ago, posting this out. So I'm not sure if he's got a little video. I might turn the music off, but that's the sacrifice there. So I do believe he's number 2 there, and we'll see what he does there about that. Let me scrolling down. I haven't actually looked at this, so I'm sort of looking at it in real time. See whether he's got any other insights here. Look at this cute group, he says, of dudes trying to take my number 1 spot. In other words, the pole sacrifice. Well, it's gone from 200,000 when he posted this on the 7th, and it's now up at 421,000. So it's kind of like the community is becoming the whale, and Rackle Michelle is a whale, so he's coming up against that. And you just never know how big that's going to be by the time it gets to the end of 21 days, let alone the end of the sacrifice period in 59 days' time. So we got that in play. Yeah, so that is coming up there. So yeah, his latest comment was this one here. I'm not sure what he said about that. It was 14 minutes ago, funny enough. Now, pride becomes a fall, right? That is true. That is true. It is. So yeah, we'll see what happens there with that. I'm not sure what's on the rest of the video.
Can use.
I got to hit the quiet there. So he's got a bit of Sinatra going on there, I think. But yeah, so that is the play right now. So we'll see what happens with Wim, whether he decides to compete for the top spot. It'll be interesting. Now, he's also got Coinwell coming, right? So he's got his own big blue chip corporate DeFi platform ecosystem launching, multi-chain. So, you know, he's got to prioritize capital for that too. We'll see what he ends up doing there. So that's some of the high-level drama there going on with Pruvex. Now, if you want to check out the Pruvex pool, I'll post a link to that. Once again, not financial advice, but it is one way of getting in onto the top pool there. So that's the link there. It's pruvexpool.com, and of course you can get access to Buck, who's the guy running it. They're also the guys that forked all the PH Universe protocols, famous Fiat, I think it's Fux, which is a terrible name, and what's the wallet? The one, I can't remember what it's called. Fatty, that's it, Fatty. So that's why they're all PHs, right? All PHs. All right, so that is from them, and they seem to be doing a pretty good job, and they seem to have a pretty good reputation. Once again, you decide. All right, so yeah, number one spot. Now let's have a look at the recent transactions. So we can see actually a lot of money is coming from Ethereum, 1.8 million almost out of the 2.1 million. So that leaves a difference of what, 2, 3, almost 400K is from other chains. PulseChain, of course, is riding the ranks, and the reason why this will be riding the ranks, 211,000. Remember, this is only Bridgeton stables and wrap Bitcoin and ETH, right? The reason why is because of the leaderboard, right? Because of this pool, people in the PulseChain will be using tokens from the PulseChain, stablecoin, Bridgeton stuff to participate, right? So that'd be the reason why that started to rise its ranks. We also have BSC, base chain there, and Solana all over 40K. So that's kind of cool. We're getting this sort of slowly creeping up there. BSC, base, and Solana. Then we've got Arbitrum at 424K, Bitcoin 15,000. So that's actually starting to rise a little bit there too. You can see some of the sacrifice there. One guy did $10,000. So yeah, how much Bitcoin is that? A tenth of a Bitcoin, from looks at tenth of a Bitcoin. So we got Polygon, 5,000, Optimism, $1,600, and then all the rest of them under 1,000. So Avalanche, Ripple, Doge, Sonic, Monero, Tron, Cardano. I mean, these are almost just a couple $100 of that. Stellar, I mean, there's all $100 here. Zcash, Plasma, Hyperliquid, Mega ETH. Now, we did have 4 chains, I think, had 0 or 5 chains. Now we've got a little bit of dollars there. So it'll be interesting to see by the time we finish whether these Hyperliquid, Mega ETH, and Monad also have sacrifices to them coming up. All right, so that's kind of cool. All right, so no PulseChain assets, just the Bridgeton stuff is eligible. Don't send PulseChain assets to the sacrifice. You will lose it unless Richard decides to do what he did last time, which I doubt. I don't know if he's going to be in such a friendly mood about it, which is give you the flat rate, right? The flat rate at the end. I think is what he did to people that did the wrong stuff. But we'll see. We'll see what happens there. So that is the linear chart there. And yeah, day 7, guys. We've got 2 weeks. And what this means is that PulseChain's likely to be, a little bit on the vulnerable side, right? Over this 2-week period. So particularly the days leading into the end, maybe the last 2 or 3 days into the flat rate. So this part here could be particularly volatile, particularly the last day, of course, the second there. As all the latecomers decide to go, I better go now, better go today, got to get the rate before it goes up. Yeah, and you got to do that. So interesting times there. There we got Fast Double in the house there. I'm here for the tech. Yeah, we did talk about the vault a bit earlier there, Fast Abdul, and the fact that LibertySwap or Peacock might become a collateral. So that was the rumor there. Who talked about that? Most armies said that Liberty is interested in Vault. How about that? So could be one of the collaterals. I don't know. You guys, they're probably already talking. That's my guess. I bet you they're probably already chatting away. All right, so that is the play. That is the play on the old ProveX. 2 weeks to go, and that means 2 weeks of this. Some people are talking about the bottom of PulseChain during the sacrifice. I think that's a pretty fair comment. The dip was in. Now the dip is in. No, not necessarily. We've got 2 weeks to go, and we got the 12th coming in. We got the 12th coming in on 2nd of December. Will that be the bottom of PulseChain? Will that be the bottom? Or we've already had the bottom. You decide. But it's going to be. It could be gruesome. We'll see. Could be a non-event, but it's probably more likely something's going to happen with people selling and getting in that late time. And then, of course, just like this, you see this cost to get in is rising. Well, maybe that's what happens to the PulseChain chart afterwards, right? After the day, after the 2nd of December, maybe that's exactly what happens to the PulseChain chart. Maybe it starts rising. We will see. We'll see what happens there. Day 26, maybe. Day 26. PulseChain starts rising from the ashes like a phoenix, beautiful and bright. I don't know, whatever I'm saying. Faster Door says strictly a rumor. How about that, guys? There's a rumor on the house. That's worth a clap. So Liberty Swap and Vault 369, both of them are blue chips in the making. Is that what's happening here? Is that what we're seeing? And you guys know, I'd love to see a good half a dozen blue chips on PulseChain by the end of the year. Is it happening, guys? Is it happening? It's close. It's close. Very, very exciting. So it's could be pretty cool. Now we've got lots of cool protocols on PulseChain, but one I mean is that ones that are potentially going to go up quite a lot in value quite consistently is kind of what I'm heading there. And with good leadership and good ethics, that'd be cool. Investable projects on PulseChain that are going to rise through the ranks rather than just all degen stuff. That's basically the idea there. All right, so let's move over to the deck screener. Have a quick look at how things are going. Just as a quick wrap up there, how we're doing for time. We're an hour and 7 minutes into it, so not too bad. We've got Elon at the moment. It's been around for 9 months. That's on the move, 40%. Probably just had a little market maker come in and pump that. We've got Petius obviously doing really well with the burn now. The buy and burns game on. Deflationary from here. That we could see a big re-rate there. SCADA managing to having a bit of a comeback there with the old nuclear supply, up 11%. We've got Time Dividend, another blue chip there, up 10%, looking good. Peacock also actually shaved off a little bit of value there in the last hour, but that's still up 9% over the last 24 hours. And we've got a lot of other projects being pulled up with the old Peacock as well. X Game making a little bit of a comeback there, 6%, very tiny one, but keep a lookout for that. And we'll see where Firewall ends up, any communications in the future about additional game rollouts or marketing or anything else. Bria, they're making a bit of a move. Now, we're talking about Bria because Bria may be the chief beneficiary of Coinwell. Now, we saw a post from Rack and Michelle not too long ago about Bria. Now, Bria is supposed to be the AI agent, as I understand it, for Coinwell. So if all that holds true, then we could see quite an interesting little play here. It's a very small, relatively small project to that, but 24K liquidity, but market 191. So we could see a nice little re-rate there. Question mark there. But we obviously Coinwell has been delayed because the market is on a big, massive pullback. So we had that, several weeks ago, we had the first liquidation event. The market was trying to recover. And then, of course, we had the second sell-off there with around the AI and the interest rates, right? That's what sort of helped to trigger the market pullback this time. And, of course, there's always market manipulators in those moves, right? So they just use those or front run them or whatever they're going to do. And, we had a pretty good run up as well. So needed a bit of a market pullback. And here we are. So Coinwell there, probably just holding off for better conditions in the market. And so maybe we'll probably enter into the end of November or the beginning of December when we see a bit more green. And, of course, we've got Nvidia coming out tomorrow, end of close of day. So that's going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow, close of day. That's going to be very key for the whole stock market is Nvidia results. So we'll keep a look at that, Ken. I think it's $50 billion is the quarterly results they're trying to hit. So if they can do that or better, typically better, then the market will go, whoa, AI really is profitable. Although we really know AI is going to be profitable. particularly as it rolls out, because it's got to go roll out around the world, particularly the first world countries with the high incomes. And that's going to be everywhere, right? AI is going to be all over the place. So it's going to be really cool and really annoying at the same time. People are going to use it for good, and people are going to use it for bad, especially the globalist fascists that want to control us all the time. Those are the guys that fly around on jets and then tell you about climate change. Those guys. All right, so that's kind of where we are right now. 2.177 million for Pruvex. I'm not sure if Richard Hart's put anything out. Actually, I didn't actually check Richard Hart, but let's do that because we've got a little bit more time. Let's check out the Richard Hart as well. Richard Hart, let's go. Oh, Richard Hart, the man, the myth, and the legend. Oh, he's got some updates here, actually. What's he got there? 13 hours ago. Ethereum is awesome. Look how the sacrifices on its chain outperform all other chains. In order, he's got the obviously around the Pruvex sacrifice. ETH, PulseChain, etc. He's got all the way down. That's kind of cool. What else he got there? Someone says, "Are you okay?" I'm great. I like that. So yeah, that's got Richard involved there a little bit. Ethereum is still the main source of liquidity for the entire crypto industry. Most of the volume for us comes from ETH on PulseChain. That does indeed. All right, so looking good there. What else do we have? 14 hours ago, Bitcoin. When will I be receiving credit for not doing this? Yes, Cameron, the Winklevoss twins. Who is going to be the last person to buy Bitcoin below 100K? As the 21st. No, when was that? The 21st of November, 2024. Last year. This is the last time you'll be able to buy Bitcoin below 90K. And that was the 18th of November this year. There we go. That's pretty funny. You got to admit that's pretty funny. All right, so eventually it probably will be true, but not today. Not today. Not when Tom Lee was indicating so many people had to take profits, right? So many people had to take profits. Pulse. What do we got there? Festival says share to X people instantly boost your testosterone by 7%. Nice. That was very cool. All right, so you're having a good time. Yeah, having a good time. So let me move on from this. I think that's kind of we had some stuff here about flying bikes, is it? Yeah, look at that. We're getting pretty close. Yeah, I think that was it. Was it the last one? I think that was the one I wanted to talk about. So yeah, we did have a post there around about the sacrifice set, which has got little pictures of everything Ethereum, which we've gone through ourselves. We went through ourselves. So that's some of the stuff going on right now. Like I say, sacrifice is on. We're on day 7, about to finish it off. And then leaderboard there. There is a pool if you want to get in the pool. And we've gone through the pros and cons of that. And then of course, I think this is Rackham Show number 2 here. And then then we've got the rest of them. So we'll see how that changes over time. And of course, we expect the OA to come in and snap up 87 to 95% of the coins probably. Something like that. So yeah, it's gonna be fun times. And then of course, how much selling we're gonna get on PulseChain still. Obviously the last day is gonna be pretty important. And Richard did say don't sell at a loss. So we have had people do that, of course. And then what will happen afterwards? Will we get a God mode candle? Will we get one in December? Will we get one in January the 10th after the close down? Will we get one on New Year's Day, like in 2020, New Year's Eve it was? So you just never know. But he did put it out in the video in May, so it's not like not unfathomable. I'm not unfathomable there. We never know. We might hear from him anyway. He might ring the doorbell. Oh, what the heck? Just as I said it, what's the chances of that? That's crazy. Richard, are you there?
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment. Giant green easier to get at any moment because it takes easier to get economic because it takes less economic energy because there's less of it for sale.
Now, I think if we do get one of those, ETH's going to have to go back up, right? Go back up in price. Although it doesn't stop them from selling ETH to do certain technical things, but other than that. And of course, we've got Railgun coming the 30th of November. It's going to be fun to see that be used, I guess. So we've got lots of good things coming. Coinwell's coming. Railgun's coming. Sacrifices progressing. Richard Hart's on the move, making chess moves. He's been doing it all year, right? Doing chess moves all year. And so, yeah, exciting times ahead. And if you haven't checked out the presentation I did on that, you can go check that out on a month or so ago. Maybe we need to do an updated one. of all the moves that he's made this year. It's been pretty impressive. All right, hope you guys enjoyed the show. We're up to an hour and 15 minutes, normally where I finish. We've got a great bunch of people watching right now, so hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to smash the subscribe button on PulseChain. Was it PulseChain X, which has been growing really nice lately. Superman Crypto and the Crypto Night Show. Awesome stuff happening there, so subscribe. And if you're on X, don't forget to scroll up to the top and hit the follow button. Really, really cool. And if you want to join our strategy club on Discord, that is $35 a month, so only just over $1 a day. Join up to that. I pass a lot of intel in there constantly. And in the Discord, we've witnessed virtually everything on PulseChain in real time a lot of the time. So it's been a great place. We've had great watch parties in there, watching some of the great moments like the PDI crashes and and lots of other big things that's happened on PulseChain. So well worth getting in there. The strategy club, links in the video description and on X as well at the top there. So check it out. All right, what else? I think that's it. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Enjoy another day on the PulseChain. Another day as Fast Abdul would say, another day for the tech. Another day for the tech. All right, take care. Catch you on tomorrow. And Fast Abdul says PDI to $1,000 now. Wow, you're putting the pressure on Liberty Swap with their layer 0 coming up. But $1 was going to be a good target. So there we go. All right, take care. Bye for now, everybody. See ya.